Okay, so now we've done that. But let's say instead, I'm just going to get rid of all of these in that box by selecting them all and deleting. Let's say instead we're interested in what Massimo's Calcarea family looks like. So you go up to choose and click on that. Tell me when everyone's done that.
Hang on, I have to get rid of the calcareous. Be clear. Okay. Got it.
Okay, is everyone there?
Yep.
Dot?
Wait, so I'm typing in calc, but
No, go to the choose box.
Oh.
Just go up, yeah, choose box, choose up here.
Okay.
And then click on where it says families at the top of the.
Got it.
Okay. So now, see where it says Massimo's groups?
Yeah.
Drop down that menu bar, or whatever, menu item. So does everyone look like mine, where it says acid-like?
Yep.
Dot, are you there?
Okay, Massimo's groups, yeah.
So you've dropped down?
Oh, it's not dropping down though.
Just click on the little arrow and the little triangle.
It's not happening.
So see how I'm exactly on the arrow? Don't click on Massimo's groups, but click on the little triangle.
Hi, Ted.
Hello, Ted.
Hi, Ted.
Sorry, I somehow thought it was 5, but then I looked at Tracy's thing, it was 4, so I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're probably like on board with what we've done so far. So
yeah.
We're just diving into some good tricks.
Okay.
I'll get you up the speed.
It doesn't drop down under Massimo groups on my.
Okay, so let's have you share your desktop again. Stop share. Okay, so Dot, show us your desktop. And Ted, while she's doing that, we kind of went through the fun stuff of how to change your backgrounds on your palette, etc., and how to change fonts and.
Oh yeah.
So.
The important
that we can go back.
Important stuff, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dot, go up to choose.
Choose.
So it looks like you're doing family things now.
No, you're in the wrong spot.
Yep. Cancel. Right.
I'm just trying to. I'm showing them how to use the search box.
Right.
So Dot, go up to choose. Go to families. Up at the top, the third option. Up.
Top.
Yeah, well, now
No, you're just going by it there. Right. Up, down.
No, but it's kind of overlapping with my Zoom. So just a second.
Okay. That's not going to change it, but anyway.
I know.
Just move your Zoom somewhere.
You can minimize your Zoom.
So you can close this box that says Gartner. You can just close that. So click on the page that says Gartner.
Okay. Just need to chill here. Not only am I really exhausted, I have my fuse is really short.
Okay. Well, is this the best thing for you? Do you want to just watch us go through?
I'm recording, Dot. I'm recording, so you can go back and.
Okay. Here we go again. Families. Got it.
Nope. Next one. Bottom one. There you go. Now choose Massimo's groups, but click there. And now see how it says Calcarea-like, and click that. Click to the left. There you go. And now say OK. Okay. Great. Okay, so now stop sharing.
Stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let me just check in with you, Dot. Is it too much pressure to have us get
No,
you up
no,
to speed?
it's good. It's just I just want to just yeah. I'm it's helpful. It just yeah. I'm just like
Recovering. So don't panic because I'm recording. So I'll send it to you and you can just, if you miss something, you can catch it up
super. Thank you.
after.
So here you can have any number of remedies. You can have one remedy. You can have all the calcareas. You can do anything you want. You can see many calcareas. But you can also, so this is where you're going to put which remedies you're searching for. And this is where you're going to search for particular words or concepts or whatever. But you can also do something else, which is, well, let's just first do a simple thing. So let's do calcarea, and the word that we're going to look for is anxiety. So we then press whatever I just pressed, search or something. And now does everyone have this in front of them?
Yep.
So let's say we're just interested in the mind symptoms. Now we get to choose which of these clipboards. And, you know, the way I do it doesn't have to be the way you do it. But what I do is I put all of my rubrics that I'm going to actually repertorize my case in clipboard 1. I put all my kind of confirmatories. They may all end up starting in 1, but I put all my confirmatories. I may divvy them up a little bit over in clipboard 4. And I always keep a running tally of all the rubrics that I've ever looked at for this particular case in rubric or clipboard 2. So this will make more sense in a second, but because there's different times when your clipboard 1 is going to be reconfigured in all sorts of different ways. You're going to say, no, I don't want that rubric, or I do, or it's not that important, but I like to have a running list. So here are all the anxiety symptoms for calcarea. Now, I don't like to have the gradations, so I go to Command A and I just select all, and I can just make a 0, and now all those things are gone. And again, this has a lot to do with my vision, my ability to see things. I can't see things that are too goopy.
So that takes the grade out of the analysis, or it just hides it?
No, it just hides it. Hides it here. It doesn't even. It leaves it in the graph. You used to be able to get rid of it, but now you can't. So here we are, here, and let's see. Let's now come and make a different search. I'm just teaching you something else. So now I do Command F. You can go up to your menu bar and choose this same thing and tell me if everyone's in this box.
Yes.
Okay. And let's say we're trying to make a differential between calcarea and calc-phos. So you click on the box that has calc with the return button, and it drops down and makes a new box. Did everyone do that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Now, at this moment, see how they both have pluses on them? That means we will just be gathering all the calcarea and calc-phos rubrics for anxiety. If that's what we want to do, we could just as easily put a slash and write calc-phos in the first box and get rid of this box entirely. And then we would be collecting all of those symptoms. But what I wanted to show you was that you can differentiate. So I can write calc-phos here, and I put a little minus sign.
Ah, good.
And this will tell me all the rubrics that calcarea has for anxiety that calc-phos doesn't. So then I click on the search box. Now, see, there used to be 90 here, but now there's 75. doesn't do us any good to put it in the same clipboard because we won't be able to compare them.
Or
So-
you could put empty first,
Well,
unless you want to keep them.
if you wanted to get rid of them all, but if you wanted to say, here's a clipboard that shows me all of them, Calc and CalcFOSS, and here's one, oh no, let's see, no, it was, the first 90 was just Calcarea, and here's the one that's just Calcarea without CalcFOSS. If we're going to compare them, we want to have, let's say we want to have both. So
I'm just
different.
wondering what I did that gave me 102 instead of 90.
Which repertoire are you using?
It should be the same one, Matt, the one that we just got from Massimo.
Well, let's start. Let's do the search again. Well, because you're doing Calcarea and CalcFOSS as together.
No, I have them in on top of each other with the minus, like.
Huh. And you're looking specific. Do you want to show your desktop?
Okay.
It's amazing to watch people's eyes move over the screen,
Yeah.
like you're in it.
Oh wait, maybe this is the one. Okay.
Okay, so let's click on search.
I did it already. It's here. Wait a sec. Why can I'm going to just, oh,
Yeah.
Something's going on.
I just try cancel.
Yeah, it won't. I wonder if something is locked.
Your program's jammed up.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think I have to just force quit and open it again. Yeah, Mac repertory is not.
Okay. Well,
Okay. So never mind. It's just my computer. Go on.
okay. Okay. So go back to share. Okay. So then we had these two. Let's see. Let's do. I'm going to look at the first clipboard that had all of the Calcarea carbonica anxiety. So everyone bring up that clipboard. Tell me, yes, I've got it.
I'm not. I'm just watching.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
This is probably rudimentary for you.
No.
Okay. So
Look how calc and phos are right next to each other.
yes.
Wonder what that. I've always wondered what that means.
Yeah. Fundamental bone structure or fundamental
But you'd expect these are these are the ones that calc phos is not. Oh no, that we should look at the other.
Yeah, this is all just Calcarea.
We look at the one that calc phos is in.
Are you up on this page?
I'm just trying to.
Or you're still struggling?
Yeah, I get. So go ahead.
Okay. So from this place, and Dot, are you okay? Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah, I think so. I just realized I'm using a different repertory, so I get to switch.
Okay. So from here, if we want to know about all the Calcareas and anxiety related to these particular rubrics, let's say we chose 5 that we liked and that we were really interested in how the other Calcareas relate to that, we come down to the lower left-hand side and click on the little remedy vial. And that allows me to do the same thing that I did before, which is I go to individual remedies and type in Calcarea, drop that menu bar down and choose all the calciums. So all the calciums, not the carbonicums, but the calciums. And so that gives us some information about how they all line up.
Now, is that Massimo's?
Yeah, this is, no, this is,
This is just anything that has, so Hepbar, sulf, calcarea.
yeah, it's any calcium according to taxonomy.
And lapis.
Yeah.
The marble, whatever marble is. Oh, lapis and the, whatever that other one is.
Right.
The place in Ireland, I think. So I'm concerned that you guys aren't keeping up.
No, it's okay. My program keeps crashing, so I don't want to slow you down.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I'm gonna-
We'll open a different repertory because it doesn't matter if we're seeing the same rubrics, and see if it keeps you up.
Here we go. I think it's going to do it now.
Maybe you need to
This
close some things.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. And Dot, are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay, so just a sec. I was trying to do calc and minus calc phos, right?
no, it doesn't matter.
So this is just the calcarea rubrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this case, it's just the calcarea.
Of anxiety, right? Or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. So
And then,
I have 120 in the mind for that. Were we
and
on the same?
I don't know why I only have 90.
So maybe I'm really not in the same repertory. So hang on
Yeah.
just a sec.
Okay, well, let's go back to that just for a second. So if you go back to your little book here in the palette,
Yep.
and you go to your lower
Oh, yeah.
right-hand corner, mine is called MM 18/04/17.
Oh, okay.
Is that available through his website?
Yeah, we put it in the, it's in Dropbox.
Okay.
Okay, I was somehow, whoops, an error occurred. Just a sec. Let's try again. I'm in MM 190614. I don't know why.
Oh,
No, it's not letting me open
That's
it.
an older version. It
this
might
is-
not work very well on this version of
your
Mac
computer.
repertory. And maybe what's happening.
Um,
It's an older edition.
Yeah, I think I can open any of Massimo's older versions. Maybe not. I don't know. I never do.
Well, but maybe I can't open the newer one. Like, I put it in there, but it doesn't want to
Okay.
What version of Mac repertory are you using?
open repertory. Just a minute. I'm gonna try another way.
For our purposes today, it doesn't
No,
matter which
417.
repertory you're in.
But what version of Mac repertory are you using, Tracy?
Oh, it's here. I did it.
Okay, great.
My version is 8.505.
Well, I don't know where, but the most current one is 8.5.3.4, I think.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, it did it.
Okay.
Theoretically, I'm here now. So,
Okay.
so let me just try again that same search.
Okay.
I have 120 in the mind.
Huh. I don't know why that is.
Okay, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Get stuck on that.
Okay. Okay, so here we are in this graph with these rubrics, whatever they are.
Mhm.
Let's say we want to clump things, and for our purposes here, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to show you the simple way of clumping things into themes. The fact that these are all anxieties will make it a little bit more challenging to name them. But what you do is you come down to this place where there's the third little icon on the bottom of the menu bar of your rubric clipboard. And you see that there's a little arrow with a T.
Yep. Yes.
Sorry, oh yeah, okay, yep.
Okay. And so if you click on that, just single click, you get this little box.
Yep.
And I'm just going to write anxiety time of day. And I push my return button, or you can press the OK, and see how, oops, in the graph, it's going to be way down here at the bottom, which isn't going very quickly because it's a big, long mess.
It had 0 rubrics in it.
Yeah, I haven't put anything in there, but I just wanted to show them where it is. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to grab anything that has a time of day, and I'm holding down the Shift key, and I'm using my track bar to do that. And see how they're highlighted.
Yep.
And then I just grab them with my track bar and scooch them up. And I put them in so that they insert in there. So this takes a little bit of dexterity. So tell me if everyone's done that.
Yes, it worked.
Good. And Dot?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's do the same thing. Let's click on the little T and make a new one, and this time say anxiety parts of body. And say OK. So is everyone there?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to click on the ones that relate to that. That might mean having to scroll. We're not going to do them all. We're just going to do a few. Oh, I'm just
Closing the eyes.
oops, I was just throwing stuff in there. Okay. Okay, so now, has everyone got 2 themes?
How come oh, wait a minute.
And I'm going to get rid of a whole bunch of these rubrics because they're unnecessary. So I just got rid of 80% of my rubrics in that clipboard so you could clearly see the graph. So do you have, your graph isn't going to look like this unless you get rid of 60 of your rubrics.
Right. Okay.
But if you do, does your graph look something like this?
No, I mean, all the ones I clump together still say 0.
Okay, so you have to, when you watch me grab, so see how I've highlighted and how I bring them up to the little thing. Now, do you see where my arrow is? It's not pushed in. If I go up a little smidgy bit more, see now my arrow is pushed in?
Yeah.
That's what you want. If you keep it out, so it's a short little arrow, then it's not putting it into the theme box. So does everyone have rubrics in their theme rubric box, what it's called?
You know, I think my, sorry, my computer is just being super slow, probably because I'm running Zoom.
Yeah.
So just keep going. Like I know that I've, like this is all ringing a bell. I just haven't done it. So like, I know that I've seen this before and I'm recording it so I can watch again.
Okay.
So carry on.
Okay, so just to make a point here, I'm going to put all the that are left over in my little group here, things related to children. So what this does is This weights your, or can weight your repertorization in a particular way. And one of the ways we do that is by going up to the menu bar again at the top and click on Graph. And we choose the very first item, Design Remedy Graphs. And we unclick Show Themes. I know that's counterintuitive, but that's what you do. And you press OK. And that changes just the configuration of our graph a little bit. Now you'll see that the themes are at the top and our single rubrics are down here at the bottom. But if we want to know what is inside of each of these theme rubrics, we click on this menu at the bottom that looks, I don't know what that looks like, but it says Show All Theme Subrubrics. Click on that, and then it opens up those themes so that you can see which rubrics are within each of those themes. The reason why this is useful is because it's useful to know, it's like, oh, you're going, oh, look at Calc Foss and Calcarea, they have a lot of the same rubrics. I wonder how it actually shows up. Oh, you know, children are afraid of everything in Calcarea, but that Calc Foss isn't listed for there. So it just allows you some differentiation and comparison. If you are instead of looking...
So, Krista, you don't have to click on a specific rubric in the graph to do that?
No, you click on this little thing at the bottom where it says Show All Theme Subrubrics. I don't know, this little box that has lines in it. I don't know what those lines
are. So what's it actually doing? I'm trying to... It's creating...
It drops down the theme rubrics to show you what are all the sub-rubrics within it.
You put them in, like you already did.
I see what you're saying. So so those are the sub-rubrics, and you see which ones are, okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. Okay.
So it's useful, like, you know, if you, like I say, if you're really trying to differentiate between something and you're wondering if your graph just shows, wow, look at all these things, you know, that have this, how am I going to choose between them? You can, gives you a reference back to what the information is actually in there. Okay, so if you, for your visualization or the way your mind thinks, if you don't like a waffle graph, this is called a waffle graph, then you can choose all sorts of different graphs up here at the top. See how it says waffle graph on my upper spot? Or there's just a little picture of it. That's what this is. If you go to the next one, it just changes it up, which I don't remember why. But the more important one is if visually this is more useful to you, it just only gives you a visualization without giving you information about what's what in there. So those are the two most common graphs that you'll probably be using, unless you're some kind of esoteric mathematician who knows even what that scatter graph means. But pretty much everyone just uses the waffle graph. So let's see. Okay, so let's just skip to a different kind of search. So go back up to your search menu and see, remember how we already did the Control F, the remedies and words. Let's now try a concept graph or a Control J. So I'm going to click on Control J, Command J, and you should have this in front of you. Tell me if everybody's there.
I have a little dialog box telling me it's going to take 5 minutes.
Oh, that's because you have to index probably.
Yeah.
Okay, and so Tracy, you got this?
But just go ahead. Because
Okay.
it just keeps crashing. So just
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. So here what we can do is just make some comparison of some concepts, and it's just different. It's the same kind of information, just looking at it visually. So here I'm just going to write in calcarea / calc-phos / calc arsenicosum or arsenicosa / and hepar. And I'm going to write in a few different words. I'm going to write anxiety. I'm going to write coldness. I'm going to write restlessness and fear. Okay, fear. Okay, then I'm going to press search. And now this just gives me an opportunity to look at some remedies that I might be comparing in a case and looking at how they're represented in a broad stroke kind of way. So here, and we'll talk about how how these remedies are compared in a moment. But from a broad stroke sort of way, you can see that of these 4 remedies, Calcarea arsenicosa is the most anxious based on the repertory.
But that's probably not equalized by remedy. Is that
So yes, so what Ted is discussing is how are these remedies compared? Because of course you could just do it based on number to number, or you could shift it based on how many total rubrics they have in for each remedy in the whole. I don't know how to say it properly.
it's
so
averaged by how often they appear in the repertory?
Yeah. So if you have a remedy that only has 10 rubrics in it, but it has, of those 10, it has 5 of them are anxiety, compared to something like hepar, just for example, that might only have 1 anxiety out of thousands of rubrics in the repertory, then that would tell you, wow, hepar really doesn't have much anxiety for such a well-known remedy. It has so few. Yet this small remedy that we don't know hardly anything about is tremendously emphasized under anxiety in the repertory. That just gives you some information.
Isn't that, don't you select that down on the bottom where those different kinds of graphs are?
Yeah, I was thinking it was here, but
No, just cancel it and then.
Is it?
It's there.
It's
graph. No, just click on it.
Here.
Equalized.
Yeah. So it's that little triangle. So this allows you to have it be looked at from the remedy and the section perspective. And you can, so if we instead just change it to number of remedies, see how there's so few remedies of calc
arsenicosa.
That it only has, it tells you down here 10 rubrics compared to calcarea, which has 264. It's because so it's not a fair comparison because we know so little bit about calc R. So that's why we change it this way.
We'll show the other option too.
Yeah. So equalized by remedy. What does that mean? Equalized by remedy. So that's just looking at the totality of rubrics in the repertory versus looking at it section by section. That's not quite right, but it's something like that.
I think it compares the weight in each section and then does some.
I think the other one does that, right? Because
the other one.
Yeah. And this one probably just looks at it from a totality. So I always leave it at this place. You can switch it up. While we're here, we can see this little picture of a person. And if we drop that down, we have all sorts of different ways to use this concept graph. At the moment, we're using how I just did it, was put in remedy names and certain concepts or words, and it chooses that. But if instead we wanted to look at their configurations or their algorithms or whatever already designed, then we can do it this way. So if I chose sections, and this is quite useful, let's say you have this case that you are certain is a calcarea, but it has a tremendous overemphasis on I'm trying to find
Nose symptoms.
on nose symptoms. Then
Or eye
you can
symptoms.
say, wow, look at Hepar has many more nose symptoms than the others. That's interesting.
But what's also fun is you can actually click on those bars and you can see what rubrics are in it.
Exactly. Thank you, Ted. We're like a team. So yes, you click here and it automatically goes into your very first clipboard. And it tells you all of the things that have to do with the nose that may not just be in the nose section, though these all seem to be. And so you can close that clipboard and do the same thing. Now you come over and click exactly on the Calc R little red thing, and you'll see it only has this. So if you thought about, see how there's only 9 rubrics here for Calc R, but for Hepar, there are 187. But see how they've kind of, because we're in this equalized area, it just tells us something about, it's looking at it from
Proportionately.
yeah. And if we did it this way, it would look like that.
Right.
So, oops, I did the wrong thing. Sorry.
I forget what's that one with the ones underneath.
It just alternates the things so you see each bar a little more easily.
Yeah, it's just a visual thing. And same with this is whether they're fat or thin.
Oh, okay, it's not a like negative.
It's not changing the analysis. It's just making it easier to see.
Okay.
So again, you could do the same thing for, it will tell you, like you have again a case where it's like tremendous amount of rawness, and you're sure it's a calcarea, or there's a tremendous amount of twisting feeling. It just helps. It helps give you some information.
It helped me way back to remember that Hepar is a calcarea.
That's why it's called calcarea, or Hepar, calcareous, sulfurous, or whatever it's called. Yeah. Okay, so then if we go back to our J search here, let's see, is there anything else to do here? Let's say no for the moment. So I'm going to get out of that box.
What's the question mark there do?
I don't know. Let's see. Oops. Enter. It just tells us the shortcuts, I guess.
Okay.
If you're over here, let me write in. I don't think I need to write in calcarea. Oops. If you come over here, and I think you click on the word. Oops. Nope, that doesn't write. Okay, that's in the other box. Okay, so let me just cancel out of that. Let me go back to the F search. If you are writing the word anxiety here, but you're wondering what other kinds of words you might use, you can click on synonyms. Now, this isn't the same as cross-references that I'll show you in a moment. This is just nothing to do with the repertory. It's really just a thesaurus that may or may not, you could write the word disquiet and caution. Oops, it doesn't allow you to do that. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so if I hold down my command, I can choose a variety of words and choose okay, and they show up over here.
And the advantage of this over a thesaurus is that these are words that actually appear in the repertory.
No.
They're not?
No, so here I'll just show you. See, there's no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, that doesn't really help us at all because I was somewhere else. Because I was just looking at Calc R.
Oh, okay.
But if you put those words in and you don't have a remedy over there in search, Okay, we do have some. I'm sure we could find.
They all have to be in there? Is that a?
I don't know any of those words, but yeah. So okay, let me try again. Oh, I have to do a word. Anxiety. So let's say discrete. I'm pretty sure that discrete is not going to be. So now I'm just going to do a search. I've already searched for anxiety, imagine, and I have it in a clipboard. But now I'm just looking for the word discrete. Maybe that's a word my patient used 10 times, and I'm quite curious. If I search for that.
Oh, okay, it's actually not there.
Yeah. So it's really just a thesaurus. It's
Okay.
just an external thesaurus. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with what the repertory has. Okay, so that illustrates that.
So the cross references are,
Yeah.
that's where there's actually words.
Yeah, so let's go to that next menu bar. So come up here to rubrics, and let's see what your configuration looks like. This is what mine looks like. Oops, it shouldn't look like that. It should look like that. I'm not sure why cross references is grayed out, but we'll see in a moment. So I don't like any remedies to show up in my rubrics when I'm in the repertory. So if I had them differently, oops. You know, you can change it this way. You have to be in the repertory. You come up to the rubrics menu at the top, and you can choose how you want it to look. So I say, no, I don't like them. I don't want to see any sub-rubrics either, because that just gets too messy for my eyes. I like to know the abbreviations, not the numbers, because I can guess at who's what. Osmo has a new abbreviation now. I think he's Momo or Mama or something. Mama. And I like to see cross references. So
that's actually interesting to leave out the remedies, because I think that I often I do a quick like unconscious scan of the rubric, and I decide whether I like it or not for my case based on what's already in it, you know?
Yes.
So that's...
Yeah, but you can do that by clicking on it and then holding down the, what's the bar called?
The space bar?
Space bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then you can see them that way.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. So, are brains fried, or do you want to go a little bit longer? Or
I'm good. This is really very, very helpful.
So helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I've been mostly using, for many years, because I started before I had Mac Repertory, I've been using Complete Dynamics.
Uh-huh.
And
on the internet, right?
Yeah. So I had bought it. It was like a subscription, you know, you paid, I don't know, like $300 for 5 years of it or something. And so now I'm still using the free version, but the full version is available on Sundays. And so sometimes I like jump on.
I know, it's true. I used to use that too.
But anyway, the thing is that I've gotten so fast on it.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's much faster access to what I'm looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
And it has a function where, you know, you just type, you can type, you know, you can enter the section, the chapter that you want and the remedy that you want, or you can just type words like knee anxiety morning.
Right.
And you get a population of, you know, all the potentially relevant rubrics. So like I've just gotten super lazy with that. And when I want to use Mac Repertory, like it's been so long since I did this kind of work of knowing what to click and how to go. This is really great.
Oh, good. Well, you can do the same thing here. I don't know that anything's going to come up for that. So if you're in your F search, remedy
Oh,
words,
yeah.
you can put in several different things and
Yeah, I was
search.
making it up. There's nothing.
There's probably
You
nothing there.
might get knee stiff morning might give you more.
Okay. And so here you get, oops, sorry. You get 2. Now, if you were using complete, you'd probably be getting a whole lot more rubrics because we're limited to, or we've at this moment using just Massimo's repertoire.
All right. Yeah.
But you can change that. If you go back to the F search and you click on this, oops, let me do it again. See here where it says authors repertory section.
Mm-hmm.
You can click on, and then you can choose, and you can, I'm sure you can do multiple things.
Yeah.
And then you say, okay, now it's going to look in all those things. Oops. And then I just select them all. And now I have, oops, 13 different.
Yeah.
rubrics.
Great.
So you can do a
Great. That's
similar
cool.
thing. Yeah.
That's cool. No, it's really like this is awesome because I have a way of working, which is like you want to be able to work another way, right?
Yes.
I want to be able to not do my default way of thinking about something, which is based on how I know how to search.
Yeah.
And so I'm not doing, my best repertorization because I'm, like I said, I'm kind of, well, you just have a different way to filter what you're looking for. And it, of course, it gives you different results, right? So, so this is great. Thank you.
If you want to do something else, which is just look for the word knee in a particular section. That's not going to do much, but anyway, you can, oh, look.
Yeah, cool.
Who knew? Who knew that you could have a cold nose and a hot knee? So you can limit it in that way. Let's see. I'm assuming that my search is, oops, cancel. Okay. So let's see. Let me just do, let's see. Ted, are there any little ideas you want to share?
No, you did everything that I did. Nope.
Okay. Let me show you a couple other things then. So see this little plus here, the elimination and even though it's called elimination both times. So what that does is it allows us to grab some rubrics. See how I'm over here in clipboard 1 and I've highlighted these 2 and see how I'm dragging them. And I can put them in the plus circle and that combines them. And see here it says the pool is 40. These together all add up to 40 because there's some duplications. If you click on the remedy vial, then you can highlight that, drag it over here, and it's going to ask you to rename that clump. So I'm going to say anxiety with ailments, I don't know, it doesn't matter, and anger. And so now I've combined those here. So it's just, before we had the thematic tool to make these first 3 rubrics where we dropped, a bunch of things into one, we only had this tool of combining them. And it's rare that I use it, but sometimes I'll do it just like if I'm doing an acute case and don't want to do a whole big elaborate stuff.
It's totally my state.
And Krista,
that's my state. Anxiety with anger.
So,
Krista, for the negative, like using that plus minus to get an elimination?
yeah, so let's say you want all the remedies that are only shared. So that, see how here it says the remedies that have ailments from anxiety and anger with their anxiety, there's only 5. So if we bring those over, drag those over.
How do we know which ones they are?
They're going to tell us in a moment.
Oh, okay.
I leave the word elimination, and then I write something, blah, 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 blah. I name it. And now you can click on it and see which ones. But you can see how...
Oh, okay. That's great, because I didn't know how to get to the elimination before.
Yes. So here you can see like calcareous not highlighted, sambucus isn't, aurum and hyoscyamus. Those are your 5 that most likely are in there. Yeah.
Okay, so there's not a thing where you put some in the plus and some, like one in the plus and one in the minus?
No. Yeah, you never. Yeah, you don't do that.
Okay, so you just you put your
you can
three
see
or
now.
3 things in the minus.
Yeah, if you want to just know what are only share those 2 rubrics, you put them in the minus.
Great.
And so here's this little button changes back and forth.
Okay, very cool. That is great.
Good. Okay, so there's that. Now, let's see. I'm going to come to the seashell or whatever that is in a moment, but let's go to keynotes. So here, this is a place where you can put in all your notes. And I can share with you, I have to figure out how I've done it. I think, Ted, haven't I given you my personal keynotes?
You did.
Okay, so I'll have to remember how I made a file or whatever. So I can give you guys my personal keynotes. They're useful to you.
Yeah, good grief.
Wow.
How do we import?
I don't know. We'll have to come back to that in a moment.
Okay.
But let me first show you this little key at the bottom will allow you to choose different, all the different keynotes that are available to you.
Okay.
So if you go to the place where yours says personal keynotes, it may be empty.
Yeah,
Very
totally.
empty.
But that's where you would start writing notes, like that you would transfer from your notes from essential elements or conferences, and you just can cut and paste.
Great.
Which is what I've done. Unfortunately, when they upgraded to this new program, the font doesn't, or the particular font I use doesn't transfer over. So I have to, every time I open I have to change it. Let me just show you. Like there. Okay. So I have to go, haven't opened up Adonis since, so I'll have to just go and change it, and it's just a pain in the butt, but
Oh, yeah.
lets me know what I've looked at and what I haven't looked at. So.
Comic Sans person.
What? I know, I am a
Comic
Sans. It's easiest on my eyes, even though everyone makes fun of it.
Yeah.
So there are times, again, like if I might be sharing some information with a patient, like saying, oh, you have a sore throat. Say I'm emailing someone, which is how I do acutes. And I'll say, I'm choosing between 2 of these remedies. Here's some just basic ideas about this remedy. I might use KHA keynotes or KH confirmatories, just because it's something that they put together based on somebody. I don't know which source it is, but it's generally fairly reliable. Because you can just choose whichever keynote thing that you like as your primary source. And like I say, I'll figure out how to, I've done something wrong. Oh, I can't get out of this box now. Well, I'll just get it out of that way. Okay. So then there's one other little thing. If you come to that funny little seashell thing, this gives you all sorts of different ways of looking at things based on Schulten, Sankaran, Massimo, and Roger, and I don't know. And then just some taxonomic stuff. So let's just go to Massimo just because.
Yeah, this is a whole rabbit hole that I've fell down a few times, and it's very fun. But
yes.
Yeah, where's it again? Sorry.
So it's the sixth icon over.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, just to get into the story.
seashell.
The little seashell.
Oh, the little seashell. Right. Yeah, I know. Yes. Well,
I know that's not a seashell, but I don't know what it
Whatever
is.
it is.
yeah, got it. Yes. Oh, yeah. I love this. This one's fun.
And I thought we'd only go for an hour, so I have a friend coming in 10 minutes. We're fine until she shows up. So here, sometimes you have to double click a few times to get these to open. They're just persnickety. But so if you know, these ones just tell you kind of family information. And so if we said we were interested in the acids, it takes us, if we double click each time, it just brings us to information of the materia medica, very simple information. But if you were in your graph, it would just bring up the acids. So again, you're back here and you want to know which of these, of the repertorization that you've done, which ones are acids, then it allows you to just look at those specifically.
Sorry, tell me again how you got there to make it limit. Acids.
I just clicked on acids.
Yeah.
And then I went to my rubric
Does it
clipboard.
automatically?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And so, so you can just play with that. So, oops, what's that?
If I had nothing else to do in the rest of my life, I would never get bored playing with that. That is for sure.
Well, there's a tremendous amount of information. I mean, if you just, I mean, even if you just go to Schulten, I mean, and click on any of these things, you'll see there's a tremendous amount of materia medica that's within these programs that people don't even.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's really, you know, it's a fountain of information.
Absolutely.
So if we're back here again, you'll see all of these are the families, so mineral, plant, animal. But then we can look at this little one. Did everyone attend the passages?
No.
That was it was a seminar that went on for some time. So it's just another way of kind of looking at your case through a developmental model. So let's say, there aren't very many adults in the world. Most of us are stuck in some kind of regressed state.
Happy.
But if you're actually lucky enough to get out of an early childhood trauma, then where you might be stuck might be your adolescence, the puer patient or whatever. Or maybe your patient is an end-of-life patient and they're really focused in how they're experiencing the world through that lens. This just allows you some different ways to look at it. It's of course not complete. If you look at, so again, this is based on the repertorization that's in my clipboard. And what it's telling me is none of the remedies in the calcarea, none of the remedies in my repertorization have any kind of procreative issues. So it's white. But if I could limit it to just remedies who really need strong support, then based on Massimo's concept, it gives us those remedies. So keep in mind that this was done at a particular time in his in his own maturation as a homeopath. So it's always evolving. But again, it just allows you to look at things. But let's say if we, as I was saying, most of our patients are stuck in some childhood trauma. If you're really trying to differentiate between someone who's terribly symbiotic versus someone who is always trying to destroy their support or is mistrustful and paranoid of the support, you can see how there are different remedies.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have Spongia, a good example, or Illumina as a symbiotic remedy. But for mistrust, then we can see arsenicum and chine and mesotherium. Those would be obvious paranoid and mistrusting remedies. So it just allows you to separate things out in a particular kind of way based on a developmental model. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating. It's fantastic.
Oops.
Wonderful.
So let's see if I can get back here. I never use this, but it's interesting. If we go back to our, let's see, what kind of pain should we choose that's weird? Let's say an explosive pain. Of the remedies, not the calcareous, now it's opened up. It's no longer limiting us just to the calcareous that we originally searched for, but all the other remedies that just happenstancely, if that's a word, were in those rubrics as well. Those rubrics about anxiety also have explosive sensations are now shown on this graph. So again, we can see aconite we know about, Bovista, the puffball that explodes, agaricus, maybe it doesn't explode, but it has explosive things. Or symptom pain that is related to anger. So again, chamomile. I must say I'm really getting a brand new appreciation for silica and anger in the last couple weeks with a particular patient. And Massimo was lecturing the other day on our Wednesday sessions and commented, this is months ago, I guess, commented about the anger in silica. And I usually don't think of them so angry, but he made a big point. Here it is again. So you can explore all these different icons. They all each have something different to offer. But most importantly is to look to see what the, not in Massimo's, except for the family, but in these other sections where you can get information, materia medica. If you just keep double clicking, you'll get
fantastic.
Yeah, so all sorts of things.
So, Christine, how do you get to these family graphs? These things.
So you're clicking on the little seashellish like thing here in your pad.
Oh, I see. Okay, great. Okay.
And that brings up.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. All of that. Let's see.
I want to go to a desert island with my laptop and some electricity.
Yeah.
Some electricity there.
I know. Well, it's funny because last year when I taught this class at Bastyr, I was lucky enough that I didn't have to teach radar, which I don't use. But I have to because, or I had to offer it because of something to do with Bastyr and legality and stuff. And so this year, radar is finally up and running, and so now I have to train on.
Oh man, I was a radar person for years and years, and the whole Opus fiasco was like, I just couldn't deal with it. Of course, like everybody else, like that was just, it was impossible. So I just gave up. And
yeah, God, I know it's So, but it is. I am interested in. I mean, I've been surprised at. There are some really useful tools. One, it's connected to the internet, so you can Google something straight from the program, and Yeah, so
Yeah.
there are some useful
That was
things.
great, but it was, I think, when Kim jumped over to sell Macrep, that was when I was able to,
Ah,
just get it because of all the drama that had happened there, and it just was so
yeah.
not functional.
Yeah.
So, Krista, I have another. So if I'm in the Massimo overview,
Yeah.
and there are all these subsections.
You mean you're in the little in the
I'm in the overview where you go to Massimo overview, and then in those sections, how do you get into each section?
okay, so are you looking at my desktop?
Yep.
Am I where you are?
Yep.
And where do you want me to be specifically? You just want,
So if I wanted to go into minerals.
okay, you have to you go to that picture and you just double click.
Okay, and all I'm getting is I don't get it doesn't go to that level with me. It's just
You get to this picture?
no. I just get to go to the graph.
Yeah, sometimes it is persnickety, so sometimes you just have to keep clicking.
Oh, so there's another.
And do you have anything in a clipboard?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
It's not giving me the sub breakdown.
Yeah.
There's not.
I know, it used to be that I would have to click on particularly this passages one probably 10 or 15 times.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's
Oh,
doing the
okay.
same to me. I'm double clicking and I'm going to a graph.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
now I did it again, and now I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah, it really can be. I don't know why it is, but and I don't know what I'm doing different because all I'm doing is clicking on it.
It's not a right click or a left click.
I don't do right or left click. I don't even know if my trackpad does that, but I'm just.
It's down at the corner.
Oh, it is? Yeah, I don't know how to
Well,
right.
you might have to put a setting on it.
Oh, yeah, I've probably taken the setting off.
Yeah. I was able to get into passages
Okay.
once, not again though.
So, yeah, you might maybe Tracy, do you have right click and left click?
I would do like 2 fingers to right click.
Oh.
I don't know if I have another way to right click.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, when I 2 finger versus 1 finger, then I get all sorts of different things that happen. So 1 finger brings me that. But if I do 2 fingers, oops, it doesn't do anything.
So weird.
Yeah.
But you all you're doing is clicking in the middle of those subgraphs?
Yeah, 1 finger in the middle of my trackpad, double click. Let me see if I actually need to double click or if I'm just a habit. 2 clicks. 1 click gives me the graph, and 2 clicks gives me the, oops, sorry.
That did it for me too.
2 clicks gives me.
Okay, maybe it's the speed of the click.
Yeah, click, click. Mine is click, click.
Nope. I've only been able to do it with the passages so far. So weird.
Yeah.
And it changes color depending on how it relates to your clipboard.
Color, which color?
Like the colors of the different boxes on these different.
Well, one's a mineral, one's a plant, one's an animal.
Yeah, no, yes, right. But you're saying how you can. I think you were saying earlier that you can relate it to what's the rubrics that are in a particular clipboard.
Like the degree of greenness reflects how much.
Oh yeah.
That is being represented.
Yeah, so the darker boxes here means that there are more acids than there are ammoniums in the little repertorization that we did.
Right.
Is that what you mean, Dot?
Yes. Thank you.
I don't know, Ted, for your problem, you might need to go to your system preferences and choose something about clicking.
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, well, I will figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
because I never knew you could go into those rubrics. That was because it's never happened when I clicked on. So that's great.
Oh, this is really, really great and
Thank you.
super helpful. Thank you so much for doing this.
Welcome. Yes.
So generous. Thank you.
Oh, easy to do. Easy to do.
And I will, because I recorded this, so I'll download the recording and park it somewhere and send you the link.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'll figure out how let's see, let's just walk through this, see if I can do it here. Let's see, if I go to personal keynotes. Oh, you know what I think, Ted, you might, I think if I go to my,
You have a personal keynote file.
yeah, so I think if I go to